So in this video, we're going to look at how to tile artwork in Onyx 25. So first of all, I'm going to open up a file that's applicable. So I'm going to press open. I'm going to go to my folder here. I've got a nice big banner job here. I'm going to put it on my Canon Colorado, and I'm not going to use any quick sets. I'm going to press open. And you can see that this job now is 13 meters wide by 2.4 meters tall. So it obviously needs to be tiled down. At the moment you can see that it's just rendering this job and bringing this job in. So it's just doing the rip process at the moment for us. There we go, so it's just about ripped now. So I'm also going to click on this job above it, and I'm going to put that into my sort of reserve list at the bottom, just because it gets it out of the way. We're just working on this job here. Now you'll see it says wait for media size, and that's because this job is never going to print on this material, that width obviously. So at the moment it's on a 3.2 meter wide, and it's obviously not correct. So now I've just changed it so it's actually on the correct printer. So now it's only on a 1600mm wide, so it's even worse. So right click, open in job editor. Now I need to set my standard media settings. So this is going to be on gloss production. That's all good. That's just going to process that and press apply. I'm then going to go to my tiling settings once that's completed. I'm going to enable tiling, and you'll see because this job is so big, it's automatically tiled my job up. However, the tiles are not even, so you can see we've got this small one at the end. Now I quite like to use my custom ones here, because then it creates me even tiles. Now all I'm going to work them out to is the width here, so I know that it's smaller than the material that I have available. So you can now see that these are 1.6 wide. If I did that one, it's now 1.4, so that will now fit on my material for me. I can even go down to 1.3. So now I have my equal tiles. I could put rows in if I wanted to as well. So I can tile them that way as well, which I'm not going to on this job. I can include the bleed and trim, include overlap on that as well. Default tile size and height. I've then got my columns. So if I choose this one, it's basically choosing which tile I'm going to be editing. So when I do that, I can then change the width of that set tile. So number 4, which is this one in the middle here, is now changing size. So the other way of doing that is just to literally click and drag on the line and move that to where you want it. So if you don't want it to go through the eye of print, for example, you can move that there. But you do then have to be careful that all the other tiles, like this last one, don't get changed size so big that you can't print it. You can also click those tiles. You'll see the number is changing. So you can click and you can edit those tiles individually. Overlap tile. So this is our overlap mark. So if I was to put 10mm on these, it would have then 10mm of overlap on there. You can put weld overlap on there if you would like to as well. Then got marks, so if I enable this tile in here, it will then put my enable tile overlap marks on all sides. We then have our setup mark line style, so if you're actually printing the line, you can actually then show basically what colours you want it, how the line needs to look, i.e. dotted line or a solid line. Turn that one off. We then have our tile map, so I could create a tile map as well. And if I just do that one quickly, so I'm going to make an A4 portrait. I'm going to use the Onyx logo. We can also use our own logo on that as well, which is pretty cool. I'm going to generate a tile map, put it on my desktop. And then that should look a little bit like this. So there's my job. There's all the tile numbers. There's all my sizes of my tiles. And it shows us obviously our overlap size and how they're going to go back together again. And there's the logo there that you can change as well. Now another little feature that I like to use is this submit tiles as separate jobs. And that means that each of these are going to basically look like a separate job when we go back to the RIP queue. I could then go to finishing. I could add my bleed as normal. I could add my grommets as normal, so I could add all of these into here as well. I could say where I want them to be. And what sort of style. There you go. So you can see they're now 100 mil in. They're only 304 apart. So if I said 700 apart, you now see that I've got my grommets on there. And there's the sizing of those as well. And I could then go to print. So submit. And you'll now see that I have a separate file for each tile. So if I need to reprint any of those, I can click on the tile and I can reprint it nice and easily. So it's now just creating me my job. And as it does that, it's now going to rip those tiles individually as it comes through as well. So you'll see that it's now loading my tiles up in my print preview on the right hand side. By clicking on the job, we can see the rip process. So it's just ripping through those jobs now. And you can see it's actually doing 2 at a time. And that's now pretty much complete. So that's a tile job ready to print on my Colorado. So that's how to do tiling on your Onyx 25 software.